Okay, had some technical difficulties. Sorry, everybody. Thank you for joining us. My name is Aniko Olah. I am the Assistant National Director of Business Development at Pasadena Villa. Pasadena Villa specializes in treating adults 18 years or older who struggle with mental illness by providing individualized programming with a unique focus on clinically complex thought, mood, and autistic spectrum disorders. Our flagship location in Orlando, Florida, has been providing mental health services in Central Florida for over 17 years. We offer several different levels of care at the Villa to include intensive residential, community-based residential, day treatment, supported housing, and case management services. We're joined today by Desiree Andes, licensed mental health counselor, qualified supervisor, and nationally certified counselor. Desiree has 16 years of experience in the mental health field and has been with us for 7 years in a variety of roles, from program director to director of quality and compliance. Welcome, Desiree.
Hi, Aniko.
Before we dive into today's topic, can you tell us a little bit about your background at Pasadena Villa?
Sure. As you mentioned, I've been with Pasadena Villa's Orlando, Florida location for 7 years now. I'm currently the Director of Quality and Compliance, but I've held a variety of other roles. I started out as our Transitional Living and Learning Center's Program Manager. I've also held the position of psychotherapist, lead psychotherapist, and program director.
Wonderful. So today you're going to be highlighting a coping and grounding technique called 5-4-3-2-1. What made you choose this particular technique for today's discussion?
Well, we're in a pretty stressful climate right now, so I think we all could use some reminding of coping skills and relaxation, grounding. You know, we're in a current pandemic, school's starting up again. We're in an election year, and in Florida, we're currently in hurricane season.
Yes, we are. So basically, this is the perfect topic for us to be talking about today. Can you give us an overview on what the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding and coping technique is?
Sure. So the 5-4-3-2-1 coping strategy incorporates the 5 senses. So most people can practice this, even if you have an impairment in one or more of your senses. You can just focus more attention on the senses that you do have strong senses in. So as with most coping strategies, I like to start out and discuss the importance of deep breathing. Because when we're in a heightened state of anxiety, a lot of times we have shallow breathing, our stress hormones are, going on overdrive, our heart's racing, our blood pressure's rising. So it's really important to start that grounding and that coping with deep breathing, meaning that you should feel and see your stomach rise. So an easy way to practice this is to pick a number under 10. So I would go with 5, because it's the 5-4-3-2-1 technique. So we're going to inhale for 5 seconds, breathe in slowly. Then we hold that breath for 5 seconds. Exhale for 5 seconds. And then keeping with the number 5, we'll just repeat this exercise 5 times. But you're welcome to repeat it as many times necessary. I know some people really find deep breathing helpful, and it pairs well with many other coping strategies. Starting out with the 5-4-3-2-1 technique, we're starting with number 5 and the sense of sight. So find 5 things that you see. You can look around your room, your classroom, your office. Maybe you see the computer right in front of you. Maybe you see a water bottle nearby. If you're able to step outside and look into nature, maybe you see a tree, a car passing by, the clouds. But really focus on these things that you are choosing to see. What feelings are they evoking? What textures do you think they are? What do you think they feel like? What are their shapes, their colors? So just really focusing on that before we move on to number 4 for the sense of touch. So 4 things you can touch. And starting out with your toes, you can even wiggle your toes, see how they feel in your shoes. Maybe you're able to take off your shoes. and connect with the ground. Is the ground hard, soft, squishy? Is it cold? Is it hot? Now with your fingers, maybe you want to reach out and squeeze a stress ball, fidget with a little toy, tap on your desk. Sometimes when we're experiencing a heightened level of stress or maybe a trauma trigger or starting some dissociation, maybe we need an extra jolt. So some individuals choose to grab onto an ice cube for a few seconds to feel that coldness. Maybe you want to splash your face with some nice cold water. Some people choose to wear a rubber band around their wrist or a hair tie and just give it a little flick. Focusing on that sensation instead of those racing thoughts that might be going through your mind. For number 3, the third sense we're focusing on is hearing. 3 things that you hear. And it's important that we go outside of our mind or externally, because some of us struggle with intrusive thoughts, negative self-talk, maybe even hearing some voices or sounds that aren't really there occurring. So 3 things that you can hear outside of your mind. It might be a train going by or an airplane. If you're in a busy city, maybe you hear the cars. Maybe in the other room, you hear people laughing. This would also be a great time to play your favorite song on your phone or your other electronic device, turn on the radio, but really focus on 3 things you can hear. So the next 2 senses, people usually find them a little more difficult, but don't be discouraged. For the number 2, we're going with a sense of smell. So some people think, well, I don't have anything to smell near me. Maybe pick up a crayon and smell the wax. It may be a candle. Even if it's unlit, you can smell the fragrance or even just the wax if it's an unscented candle. You can go outside if you're able to. Maybe you smell fresh cut grass. Or maybe it rained because maybe you're in Florida and it rains in the summer. And so you smell the pavement after a rainstorm. Again, just focusing on at least 2 things you can smell. So the last sense we're working on for the number 1 is taste. Again, some people, don't know what to do, especially if you're not eating anything or there's nothing in your mouth. So I invite you to maybe pop a piece of gum in your mouth, maybe pop a mint. If you just ate, maybe try to see if you can sense what that last thing you ate was. What did it taste like? Or you can use your imagination. Maybe think about the last thing you ate, or maybe your favorite food. Think about the texture, the mouthfeel. Is this a salty or sweet food? Is it hot in temperature or cold? So basically, this exercise incorporates all of the senses. Hopefully you're distracting yourself from the stressors that are going on, whether it's internally or externally or both. And some people choose to repeat this exercise until they feel their stress levels coming down.
That's great. Yeah, seems like a great way to reconnect with yourself too. So thank you. Those were fantastic examples in walking us through that. So who can benefit the most from utilizing this technique?
Everybody, from kids to adults, everybody, even those in the helping profession. A lot of us are extra extended right now, whether you're in the mental health field, medical field, teachers, everybody. And sometimes we forget to focus on ourselves and practice those coping skills. We might know them, but we might forget that we need to practice them, because this, along with all other coping skills, we need to practice so that they become second nature when we are faced with excessive amount of stress. Just like you wouldn't go run a marathon without ever practicing running, it's important to practice coping skills all the time so that you can pull on them easily when you need them.
Yeah, great example. Absolutely. And lastly, how do we incorporate this technique with our clients at Pasadena Villa?
Well, at Pasadena Villa, we pride ourselves on teaching our clients a variety of coping skills. The 5-4-3-2-1 is just one of the many mindfulness tools and grounding tools that we have, but we really try to individualize the treatment of each and every one of our clients. So while some clients might not like that technique, we have so many others. Maybe they do meditation, journaling, bibliotherapy, art therapy, recreational therapy. So our goal is to help them find that healthy, effective coping technique that would work for them. And we're doing that daily through groups, other therapeutic activities, individual sessions. So we are very mindful to impart that knowledge onto our clients so that they can succeed.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's one of many. And we really appreciate you taking the time today to talk us through what this particular technique entails. And hopefully we can all kind of take a piece of this with us today. I know I'm certainly going to practice it. So thank you so much, Desiree.
You're welcome.
Thanks everyone for joining us, and stay tuned for future Facebook Live webinars that we're hosting. Thank you.